Hello, everyone. My name is Maciek Szwed. I'm head of innovation at Mikido, a full-service software development company. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the 7th edition of AI Waves webinar. If you're here for the first time, I have some important information to share. AI Waves is a series of webinars organized by Mikido, where we're focusing on the latest developments in AI and the opportunities they bring to businesses. Today, we'll discuss generative AI and how to harness its power to accelerate various industries. If you have any questions, you can type them on the chat at any time during our webinar. We will gather all of them and take them up to this Q&A section, which will be the final part of our meeting today. And now it's time to introduce our expert speaker, Jerzy Biernacki. Jerzy is the head of operations at Mikido. Despite his executive position, he's actively helping clients develop AI-driven mobile and web solutions. With a wealth of experience, he has collaborated with major brands such as Play, Aviva, Onkyo, and HelloFresh. Jerzy played a crucial role in establishing and growing the R&D and AI departments at Mikido. He holds a PhD in computer science from AGH University of Science and Technology in Krakow. Outside of work, he's a home automation enthusiast with an impression collection of smart devices. Jerzy, welcome. The stage is yours.
Hello, Maciej. Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. Hello, everyone. I'm glad to see you all coming here. So let's start. GenAI is already changing the world and the way we work. However, I'm not sure if you are aware of how much it will change it in the near future, how it will influence you, your businesses, and how to turn these changes into profit for your business. As you probably know, GenAI is a specific type of artificial intelligence that is capable of creating content such as text, code, sound, and video that is deceptively similar to the content created by humans. And there has been a lot of excitement around GenAI in the recent months. And you might still be asking yourself a question whether it's a real revolution or just a temporary short-lived hype. This question is particularly relevant since in the previous years we saw enormous hype around technologies such as metaverse, Web3, and not much has come out of it so far. But the hype around generative AI is quite different. First, the entry barrier is much lower for generative AI. And second, it's much easier to come up with solid business cases for generative AI. People have basically embraced generative AI tools and are already using them on massive scale. Every day we hear about new tools and they have huge impact on our life and our productivity. That's why I wanted to tell you 4 stories, 4 different perspectives on the changes that are coming. And at the end of the presentation, I will also provide you a high-level overview of the process of integration GenAI into mobile and web applications using OpenAI API based on the experience that we have after implementing this in several apps for our clients. So, starting with the first perspective, meet Mary. In the story, Mary is an individual client. And Mary is currently on vacation, basking in the sun and sipping drinks on the beach. But at some point, she needs to withdraw some cash because, well, the bar on the beach accepts only cash. And now the question is how she can quickly check how much she will pay for withdrawing money at the ATM of the bank abroad, how much she will pay for the currency conversion. To quickly find such information, well, it's not easy. She would probably need to dig through some complicated pricing lists of the bank. Well, good luck with that. It's such a simple question, such a simple thing to ask, and it's really perfect to be handled by an assistant who can understand the context, knows the offer well, and can provide such information in a matter of seconds. And models like GPT-4 will make time-consuming document searches and looking for answers in FAQs a thing of the past, fortunately. But unfortunately, all good things must come to an end, and Mary returns to the gray reality. Well, she let loose and spent a bit more than planned on her vacation, all in good fun, but now she needs to start saving some money. And a Gen AI based assistant can help her with that, can help her analyze her expenses and manage the budget, not only by showing the summaries, but also generating specific advice that she can follow and that she can also inquire about. So, with the help of the assistant, Mary managed to save some money. And a few years have passed, and she's thinking more and more seriously about a decision that many young people struggle with at some point: a mortgage. An understanding of terms and filling the application is basically a rocket science for her. She can't do it without a credit advisor. But this credit advisor can also be replaced by GenAI-based assistant. And similar assistants can be also used in all kinds of apps. In entertainment, they help you find the content that you're in the mood to consume. Or in e-commerce, they can help you find the products that you want to find based on the provided criteria, instead of you having to go through the different sorting options and or searching it through filters. Okay, so Mary got the money, got her dream home, and at some point she started a family. And now she has a daughter. And Mary's primary goal as a parent is to convey to her daughter that she is loved and to prepare her for adult independent life. And theoretically, she could entrust the second task to the educational system, to the school. But does the school teach children how to cope in adult life? And in particular, does it teach entrepreneurship and financial management? Well, I would say that not exactly. I would even say that we live in a world where many young people struggle and are kind of financial illiterates, living from paycheck to paycheck, not thinking about and about their money, and regardless of how much they earn. We should instill as parents some economic mechanisms in our children at starting at early stage. And mobile apps are an excellent way to do this. But the main problem I see with EdTech and EdTech apps is currently that, well, they are making students understand and learn how to solve certain types of tasks or exercises, not really to understand the material that they're trying to learn. And a good teacher, compared to the such EdTech app, asks students questions like, why do you think so? And what would happen if you did something differently? And through these questions, they ensure that students not only know how to solve a certain types of exercises, but also understand the concept behind it, which is basically the essence of what teachers want to convey. And this is the key change that currently GenAI can bring to the learning apps and to EdTech, because it allows for the apps to include such mechanisms that will ask additional questions and make sure that students understand the material that they are learning. And recently, Khan Academy and Duolingo have implemented such GPT-4 based modules in their applications. You can read about these on OpenAI website, and I encourage you to do that. And at Miquida, we also implemented a few features based on GenAI that enhance the EdTech app for one of our clients, providing the features that were not possible to implement, well, basically a few months ago. So, summing up this part of the story, let me highlight some of the mentioned benefits for businesses of integrating GenAI in the apps. So first of all, integrating GenAI in apps allows businesses to provide personalized and context-aware assistance to users, enhancing the overall user experience and increasing engagement and satisfaction. Also, by replacing traditional FAQs with GenAI-powered assistants, Businesses can reduce support workload and provide more convenient and efficient experiences for the users. And also, with the help of the GenAI assistants, businesses can better understand user preferences and behaviors, identifying potential cross-selling opportunities that will result in increased revenue. And last but not least, in the context of the EdTech apps, GenAI can provide adaptive and personalized learning experiences, improving learning outcomes and increasing user retention. But moving on to the next story, let me introduce you to Mike. Mike is an entrepreneur, and he runs a seemingly simple business. He runs a small online store through Amazon Marketplace. Mike uses business management module in both mobile and web apps, but he's struggling. For several months, he's wondering why it's becoming increasingly difficult to run his business, even though his revenues are growing month by month. The app doesn't really provide the answer to this question. Unfortunately, it's just not possible to provide all possible charts and analysis in the application, at least not without making it totally unintuitive. But what if it could be done somehow? What if the answers to these questions and relevant charts were generated directly based on the specific query in natural language? Then Mike could describe his problems and ask for a comparison of sales margin with the inflation rate. And it would turn out that the real margin on the products is decreasing month by month. But inflation is not the only problem that Mike faces. I'm not sure about the countries that you live in, but here in Poland, the tax law is definitely not the simplest. Well, it basically drives Mike nuts every time he has to settle something with the tax office. Nothing seems logical, and everything changes so fast that it's impossible to keep up. But here again, GenAI comes to the rescue and is able to summarize and translate legal documents and complicated laws into simple language. It can even provide legal advice based on this. You can already insert text of a legal document into ChatGPT and ask for explanation or ask specific questions regarding this document. And it's really, really convenient. It works on all kinds of documents, and it explains or it can help you write in a specific jargon, be it scientific or medical or technical. Mike also recently discovered an additional passion, creating stories. And now, thanks to generative AI, he can create and sell his own books. He can generate both stories and illustrations using available tools in just a few hours. And Mike can also sell these on Amazon, improving his margins. But to provide you the example, here is a book that teaches children the basics of entrepreneurship, and it was written and illustrated with the help of generative AI in just one day. And you can order it on Amazon. And if you have some more time and flair, you can create beautifully crafted stories like this one. And this book, also written and illustrated by GenAI, was created in just a single weekend. But apart from books, you can generate all kinds of content. You can generate images, you can generate music or videos. In fact, all the images that are present in this presentation, apart from the screenshots, were generated by me in a Midjourney in a single evening, and most when taking my dog for a walk. So yeah, it's just as easy now. So summing up the benefits for businesses mentioned in this Mike's story. First of all, GenAI generates answers and charts based on natural language. That can simplify complex features for better user experience and basically more informed decision making. Also, GenAI decodes complex jargon and terminology in various fields like legal, medical, finance, and technology, and it helps users navigate these industries more efficiently. And last but not least, GenAI streamlines the creation of diverse content types, saving time and resources and fostering creativity and innovation, while also allowing businesses to stand out and expand their offerings. But now let's change the perspective a bit. Let's meet Patrick, a newly hired employee. And he starts with the onboarding. And as often happens in large organizations, Patrick has a massive amount of documentation and procedures that he needs to digest. And it's in the form of documents and the form of videos. And after a few weeks or months, he's expected to have learned it and be ready to work. It's not hard to imagine that the onboarding experience and efficiency of it could be much better if Patrick could converse with an assistant during this whole onboarding process and ask questions that would help him dive deeper and more effectively into complex topics that he needs to grasp during this onboarding. And while one might argue that Patrick could ask his colleagues about his doubts, it's important to remember that new employees often feel anxious about appearing uninformed or inexperienced in front of their new colleagues. And GenAI offers a judgment-free solution to this issue, providing immediate and reliable assistance to Patrick, because, well, like I mentioned, it's explaining everything and it's patiently answering all the questions that Patrick can have during the onboarding process. But onboarding is just the beginning. Patrick starts his first task and naturally some questions arise around how to proceed in specific situation during his work. And searching for information in companies' knowledge bases containing hundreds of or thousands of documents is neither easy nor enjoyable. However, with large language models, we can make all this knowledge available to employees in the form of a simple chat, where they can ask questions in natural language and get answers directly to their questions, directly on instruction on how to proceed, along with references to relevant sources. And Morgan Stanley showcased this example of such knowledge base on OpenAI's website. Using GPT-4, they provide employees with access to database of hundreds of thousands of documents, articles, analyses created in the course of over 100-year history of the company. And at Miquido, we also implemented similar solution for our employees, and we allow our employees to access the knowledge from our internal Confluence spaces through the bot in Google Chat. And such knowledge bases are especially useful in customer service, where access to such knowledge can be significantly improved, can significantly improve the efficiency of answering customer questions, because they can combine the knowledge of the company procedures with information about clients. Also, Patrick's daily productivity increases many times over thanks to GenAI embedded in everyday tools such as text editors, spreadsheets, or email clients. Creating presentations, automatically creating presentations, generating automatically some reports based on the data provided and the specific prompts, or suggesting ready-to-use formulas in spreadsheets, or taking notes and summarizing them automatically. All this is becoming a new standard of our work. And a great example of a tool that will help with that is Microsoft 365 Copilot, in which all Office tools like Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and Outlook will have a built-in assistant providing significant increase in work efficiency. And here's an example of Excel, which can, based on the prompt, generate formulas and also create some visualizations based on text input. And here's an Outlook that generates responses based on notes and on meeting transcripts, and basically all the data that Microsoft account contains about certain topic. And other areas of the company can also benefit from GenAI. And marketing is a really good example of that because it's already revolutionized by GenAI. Because we can now generate inspirations, create articles, posts, graphic concepts, or even video ads in rapidly improving GenAI tools. For example, this is Movio tool that can generate a video with an avatar, because like these people here are not real people, but generated avatars. And these avatars can speak on any background, for example, your product video, and they can speak any given text in more than 50 languages, and looks really natural and believable. And GenAI is also a tremendous support for other departments, for example, HR, where it can help with tasks like analyzing incoming CVs or preparing interview questions for the candidates, or even collecting and preparing feedback summaries for company employees. And summing up the benefits from this section, GenAI can provide more efficient and employee-friendly onboarding process that would allow new hires to ask questions and gain deeper understanding of their roles and responsibilities without the fear of judgment. Also, by implementing GenAI and GenAI-based knowledge bases, employees can easily access crucial company information and resources through the chat interface. And this feature is especially beneficial for customer service representatives who can quickly and efficiently answer customer questions. And last but not least, integrating GenAI also can help boost everyday productivity when it is implemented and integrated in everyday tools. And this can streamline all the tasks and all the work processes, ultimately boosting the employees' productivity, especially in customer service, marketing, sales, HR. And the last perspective is the story of Monica. Monica is a part of an app development team, and she uses generative AI tools such as GitHub Copilot on daily basis, which help her generate code snippets, but also automatically create documentation, something that she really dislikes doing, like most of the developers I know. And these tools can also assist her in understanding the code better, especially if it's written by other people or it is written by other companies and taken over. And it can also help her find bugs in the code. And here is an example of integration of GitHub Copilot into the programming environment. But that's not all, because GenAI can also aid, for example, designers in their work, allowing them to quickly create visualizations and ideas in the form of mockups or prototypes. And GenAI can also provide different kinds of inspiration for graphic designers. And here you can see a few examples. For example, a dating app for a penguin, or for penguins, well, it's not a problem for GenAI. And even if Monica is assigned other tasks, like product owner tasks, GenAI can also help her with that. GenAI can generate user stories, can generate test cases, or even ideas for new app features. And here's a small example of reasonable user stories generated by ChatGPT for a mobile wallet dashboard screen. And provided with a reasonable context and a proper prompt engineering, GenAI is really an amazing assistant in most of the software development tasks. And summing up the benefits in software development, GenAI tools like GitHub Copilot help developers write, debug, and document code more efficiently, and making it easier to collaborate and maintain high-quality code bases. Also, GenAI aids designers in creating visualizations, mockups, and prototypes. And also it helps team come up with creative and visually appealing designs. And also GenAI can generate other things like user stories, test cases, ideas for new features, simplifying the work of not only product owners, but also testers or project managers. So now let's move to the second part, and let me provide you with a quick and high-level overview of integration process of OpenAI API in mobile or web application. And for this, I will use a case study of one of the apps that we have developed, the Udamo app, which is a mental health application invented by a British doctor. The goal of the app is to help users understand themselves and how therapy can help them. And we implemented an integration with ChatGPT aimed at providing personalized insights for its users. And I chose this example because it's basically the simplest example of an integration that we have had the opportunity to implement so far, but also it demonstrates really well why and how such integration can be carried out. So the use case here is to deliver a content that's tailored to the person based on a set of answers provided by the user about themselves, without needing to write this content manually by the app team and restricting the flow to a really narrow scenarios. So the first thing that we need is an interface. So in the mobile app, an interface is created that allows users to answer some questions about themselves. Then we need to prepare the prompt for GPT. So we couple the user-provided input with instructions for the GPT model. And these instructions contain all the information that we want the model to take into account. So here we can tell the model what its role is, what kind of content we are providing it, and what format we expect it to return the answer in. So in case of Udamo, the prompt we use tells ChatGPT that it should respond as a psychotherapist to whatever subject matter the user is answering questions about. Then we send this prepared prompt to OpenAI API. And here I wanted to draw attention to issue of data confidentiality because it's a really hot topic and a lot of people have doubts about whether it's safe to send their data to OpenAI. So the fundamental difference between using ChatGPT in a browser and using the model behind ChatGPT, that is GPT 3.5 or GPT-4 through the API, is that the data passed to the API is not analyzed or used anywhere, and it does not contribute to further training the model. And therefore, it is safe to use the API in the application. It's safe to send the data, and it will not be used anywhere. There's also even a more secure option, more entertainment and more suited for enterprises. And it allows to use GPT 3.5 or GPT-4 models through Microsoft Azure, where the highest level of security is guaranteed. So we send this prompt to OpenAI API, and the API returns a response. And we present this response to the user in the app. And well, that's basically it. So the whole flow is rather simple. And of course, it's a really simple example, but I think it really shows how the process looks like. Of course, we implemented more difficult and complex cases, for example, in this internal knowledge base that we developed for our employees, and also for Etihub that I've mentioned before, and also others. But yeah, I think it's still really easy to integrate ChatGPT, and it's not a rocket science if you know how to approach it. Yeah, but since my time is quickly coming to an end, let me quickly wrap up the presentation. So Do you remember the ad? There's an app for that. This Apple slogan, coined over 14 years ago, has become a symbol of the mobile revolution. But now comes the era of there's an AI for that. A race has begun in which both the tech giants and the startups are competing for the best positions in this new reality, a reality where GenAI is present in almost every aspect of our lives and business. So, if you want to discuss your ideas on using GenAI in your companies or in your products, I invite you to get in touch. And scanning this QR code will take you directly to my LinkedIn profile. Yeah, at Ubiquito, we already implemented a few integrations with GenAI tools, and definitely can help you with that if you are interested. So now I think we have time for the Q&A session, so I'll be happy to answer a few questions.
Okay,
Yeah.
big thank you to Jerzy for sharing his business perspective on generative AI. That was an exciting presentation. I'm sure everyone here has some ideas on how to use AI in business or personal life. And we still have a few minutes left, so let's move to the Q&A session. First question is, Suzanne asks, what are your thoughts on AI taking over coding? Will it replace developers?
Well, I think no, I don't think so. Not in the foreseeable future. Well, AI has a potential to automate many tasks, including coding, but it's unlikely to fully replace developers. Much of a software development is still like it involves problem solving, critical thinking, strategic planning, and understanding user needs. So I think these are things that AI is not currently equipped to handle. But on the other hand, AI can certainly assist developers in their work. Like I mentioned, they can write some chunks of code. It can automate some routine tasks. It can identify bugs or document the code. So yeah, it can definitely improve the productivity. But I don't think it will replace developers soon.
Okay, thanks. Moving on to the second question, Steven asks, how is generative AI different from machine learning?
Okay, so well, basically, generative AI is technically a subset of machine learning. So, while machine learning is a broader term, it's referring to like computers learning from data. Generative AI is a specific type of machine learning that is generating content. So, yeah, and the content can range from like text, image to images, music, and more. And it's like basically a subset of machine learning. So machine learning is broader term, and GenAI is just a subset of machine learning.
Right. Okay. Thanks. So the next question, Damian asks, I'm wondering how AI will affect UX research. You have mentioned that AI can help with design. What with UX research? Where soft skills are more important?
Well, that's an interesting question. Well, I think I think Maciej, you're actually an expert on UX research, like more than me. But I think right now it's UX research requires to also analyze the content, right? It analyze visual materials, and currently I don't think that we have tools that are able to do that. We can do other kinds of research, like we can do research on certain tasks using AutoGPT, but it's more like text-based tasks, not visual and understanding the visuals and the UI that is present. So maybe it will be possible in the future, but right now I don't think that the UX research would be possible to automate using GenAI.
Thanks, Jerzy. I have very similar thoughts on that. Moving on to the next question from David. How do you think non-technical small business owners could best position themselves to become data informed? What do they need to be able to benefit from using accessible AI tools like ChatGPT?
Let me think on that. So basically, I think that most GenAI tools are not necessarily require technical skills. So I think it shouldn't be a problem, because like the tools that are if you're not developing the tools but using the tools, you don't need to fully understand how they are developed, right? So if you want to become and position yourself to become more data informed, it's just I'm not sure if I understand this question fully, but let me try to answer. Maybe you'll guide me if I'm too far off. But I think that if you want to use the tools, you don't have to be technical, and if you want to integrate tools like ChatGPT into your business, then you can either create your own, buy your own instance, and it will also be possible in the near future if it's not possible right now. You can also, you can ask others to create some technical solutions for you, like for example Miquido, and we'll be happy to help you build a solution that can help in your business. But I think for small business, it's easiest to just use the tools that are available, and there are many tools that allow to use GenAI features similar to those in ChatGPT, because like using ChatGPT in the browser is not really safe when it comes to providing some private information that is that you're not willing to share with the whole world.
Okay, thanks, Jerzy. I think we have run out of time for today's webinar. So that's all for now. We hope you enjoyed it. If you still have some questions about AI to answer, you can always find us on LinkedIn. Just drop us a message and we'll get back to you. And also remember to follow Miquido on LinkedIn to stay updated with know-how on using AI and other latest trends and solutions, everything that will help improve your business. And finally, remember to check your inboxes for the webinar recordings. Once again, big thank you to all of you. Stay tuned and see you at the next AI Waves webinar. Bye.
Yeah. Also, if you want to ask any additional questions, you can just approach me on LinkedIn. So I'll be happy to answer all the additional questions that you might have. So let's get in touch. Okay. Thank you.